Today we have Shelia Rideau, and I'm so glad that she's here with her dolls. Brain, she is an emergency room nurse, but in addition to that, she has had time, energy to create these beautiful masterpieces, these dolls. So we're going to talk to her about that, the inspiration behind them, and all things wonderful, how she's healing hearts with by dolls and as well in the field of medicine. How are you, Shelia? Welcome to the show.
I'm doing great, April. Thank you so much.
Oh, well, I'm so excited to have you. I love dolls. They make me so happy.
Oh, me too. I love playing with their hair.
Their hair and their clothes. Why do little girls, that's the first thing they do is when they get a doll, take her clothes off. Now let
Yes,
me see
yes,
that one. Oh, look at. Oh, that's the new
yes.
one.
This my black Asian one. I have three right now. They biracial doll.
Wow. See, brains? That's good because kids want to have something that looks like them. But let's dial back. Tell my brains a little bit about you and how you show up in the world.
I am a registered nurse. I am a mother of two biracial children, a wife, a minister, entrepreneur, a published author, um, a psalmist, you name it. I do a little bit of everything.
As they say, you're doing the most. So tell us a little bit about your nursing career. I know that you've done that, but how long have you been a nurse? And
Oh, you trying to
you're in
get
the
me to tell my
emergency room.
age? Over 30 years. I've worked in different areas: home health, hospice, telemetry, med surge, GI clinic, a little bit of everything.
Wow, that takes a lot. And it's a lot on nurses these days. The amount of technology that you have to contend with. I look at some of those devices and it's like, and it's
Yeah,
automatically administering the medicine. You got to make sure it's right. You got to deal with the patients. You got to deal with your colleagues. You got to deal with their family,
yeah,
and then you got to come home and deal with yourself. Tell us
yeah.
a little bit
And
about your
I've
work.
seen the changes over the years. I'm sorry.
No, no,
It,
go
it's
ahead.
really has changed over the years. It's
Well,
a big difference.
COVID just it blew my wig back because I just couldn't believe that they were not giving the protective gear that people needed, and they were putting their life on the line for somebody else. But that's a whole nother story. So outside of the nursing, you work in the ministry. Tell us a little bit
Yes,
about
it
your
is.
work with the Lord.
Able to do all the other things that I'm doing. God is definitely first in my life. That's why I have the gifts and talents that I do, is because of my love for the Lord. He blessed me with the gifts, the knowledge, to be a good nurse, to be a good mother, to be an entrepreneur, because without him, I can do nothing.
I know.
So I study the Word of God. I sing and write songs, and the books that I do, the skits that I do, all come from Him. He inspires. He gives me the wisdom and the knowledge to do it all.
So tell me a little bit about your book. Not only are you a doll creator, but you're an accomplished author. Tell us a little bit about the books.
Yes, each doll has a book that goes along with it, because I want the children to know about their ethnicity, their race. So I made up a story about how their parents met, and then I did some teaching about their race, about their ethnicity, and I taught in there about bullying, what to do about bullying, and let them know that they are beautiful no matter what color they are, how their hair look, and um that they can accept both sides of their ethnicity, their race.
Yeah, their heritage. So your children are biracial. What are their ethnicities?
Black, white.
Black and white. Okay.
Yeah.
So How was that for you? Because we're both women of a particular age. Was that well received by your family and friends? Because they look at the typical norm as a black man with a white woman, but they don't really see uh, a lot of black women with white men. And I had my flavors, honey. I didn't change. I didn't taste the rainbow before I got to Mr. Magnificent. But how was that well received, and how did you meet your love?
Well, he's no longer in. He's my ex now, but I have a great husband now. But I have to tell you about that in a minute. But I was in Maryland. I did travel nursing, so I met my children's biological father in Maryland while on a travel assignment. And it just depends on where you are, how it's received. You either have overt or covert racism. And me myself, if you're gonna be racist, I want to know it. Don't try to hide it.
Right, right.
I want to know where you're coming from. Yeah,
Exactly. So
front with
you got to know how to deal with it. And it is
right,
people always try to put love is love. Yes, love is love, but you got to get through the boundaries. You got to get through the cultural differences because there is a cultural difference. You
right.
know, uh,
It is.
white folks don't cook their
It
greens like we
definitely
cook
is.
ours.
No, and I, I put something. It's true, and it's okay though. It is
It's
okay.
okay.
God made us different, and it's okay to be different. If we
It's
were all the same, how boring would that be?
it would be boring. It's funny because my daughter is dating her partner is white, and I was getting some cable, and he goes, "Well, I keep seeing this bet on my cable bill." I said, "Bet? What are you talking about? Bet? Talking about Black Entertainment TV BET?" Girl, I just laughed because it is a benefit again, and like you said, if you don't explore and step outside of your comfort zone, it is going to be boring. It is going to be boring, and you're going to be at a loss. God came to all
Right.
of us. He created all of us. Every flower in the garden is not the same. Every car on the street is not the same.
There you go.
So you have to really look at diversity. So
Right.
how was that received by your family? Because
Right.
we can be tough too. Now the black folks can be real tough.
Right. It was fine.
Good.
They didn't have any issues that I know of. If they said something, it was behind my back.
So you move forward with the
So,
ministry. You move forward with the ministry and nursing and your relationship. You have two beautiful daughters. What was the inspiration for the dolls? Was that to teach them about cross
a
culture?
son and a daughter.
Oh, a son and a daughter.
Uh,
Okay. So how was
yeah,
that?
I yes, a son and a daughter, and I have a special needs son.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, that's beautiful. You got three kids.
Yes, yeah, my son has Down syndrome.
Oh, okay. That's a
Yeah.
challenge too. Sometimes in relationships that can put a strain on the relationship. Where does your son with Down syndrome fall in the pecking order? In the middle, last child?
I just have the two. My daughter is the oldest, and then my son. He's the young.
Okay, all
And
right.
so it's just the two. And I treated him just like my daughter, and he's very high functioning. He picks his clothes, he has chores, makes his bed, fix food for himself. I did not baby him.
That's good.
So, and he just learns different. Now, does he need help? Yes, he does. But as much as he can do, that's what I taught him. I did not handicap him, but yes, he needs help.
So now you're an entrepreneur as you're doing that in conjunction with nursing. Tell us about your entrepreneurial work.
I have the two businesses, the Children of Love Dolls and Accessories LLC, and a nonprofit, people alongside to help. And I'm going to do with that, the Children of Love Dolls is my for profit where I have the biracial dolls that comes along with the book, and they have an extra outfit that I designed, and the dolls say positive affirmations. They talk. They say you're beautiful, you're going to do great things. So that. And then with the nonprofit, I'm going to give those dolls to kids that are in foster care, that are sick, to Alzheimer's patients. And the second part of it, I'm going to have a food and a new clothing pantry, and then a transition home for homeless families.
Well, you got your work cut out. That is incredible. What gave you the inspiration? Did you have a download from God?
I went through a period of time where when I was with my kids' biological father, we were staying in somebody's basement.
Hmm.
That was hard during the holiday. That's why I know, even though I'm a registered nurse, had money at the time, I was pregnant. I had just had Samuel. My daughter was young, and we had some financial issues, couldn't get a place to stay. I wasn't working full time, and it was really hard. So you never know what people go through. You never look down on people.
No, and they assume because, you are this nurse, and you got this upstanding Caucasian husband that you shouldn't have a care in the world.
Hmm.
But we are all still, going through the motions.
Right.
Absolutely. What would you tell a young Sheila of 25 years old if you could look back on and have that conversation with her? What would you say to her?
I would tell her to just keep your trust in God, because everything is going to be all right. God is going to walk you through whatever trials and tribulations that you're going through, and He's going to work them out for your good, and you're going to turn around and help other people through them.
Let's ask you some fun questions. If you could not be a registered nurse as your, umbrella company, what other things would you like to do? You're doing a lot of them, but what other profession would you might have chose?
You know what? I'm gonna say this. When I was younger, I didn't know what it was called at the time. I said this. I told my mother. I said I want to be a cafeteria lady, a chef, because I like to cook. And so I didn't know it was a chef at the time. I just said, "Oh,
Um,
I want to be a cafeteria." She said, "No, you don't. No, you don't." So
well, let me tell you, we can go back in the day because the cafeteria lady was the business, especially when you could go back and get some seconds. They don't even have cafeteria ladies. They don't cook for the kids no more. It's all processed food. So that was an honorable profession. Absolutely. If you were a car, what car would you be, Sheila?
I like a Mercedes because it runs smooth, it's luxurious, and I like to dress.
I get you. I would be a 1974 VW Bug van, the one with the flowers painted on the side and the hookah pipe, and we'd be listening to some Sly and the Family Stone in there. Yeah, girl, I love me some Sly and the Family Stone or some Fifth Dimension, back in the day. So that was good.
Ah, y- that- yeah.
If you were an appliance in the kitchen, what appliance would you be?
I have to think about that because it has to be something that multitasks. Because I like to do a lot of different things. I just can't just do one thing. I have to do something that multitasks. So I have to think about that.
Okay, oh, girl, I could give you a bunch of them. I think I want to be the refrigerator. I just want to sit and chill. That's for absolutely sure. If you could time travel, if you could travel in the past, stay in the present, or move to the future, where would you go?
Hmm. Where would I go? I would go. You know what? I I w- I would stay where I am.
Yeah,
Mhm. Because I've learned not to be. Not to be impatient. Yeah, I'm learning. I've been through so much. I had to learn patience. So, and then I don't want to miss anything. You learn on your journey as you go.
absolutely. Absolutely.
So I don't want to miss anything. I don't want to miss any lesson.
I know. I hear a little twang in your voice. Where are you
I
from?
might as well wait and enjoy Louisiana.
Louisiana?
I cannot. I can't get rid of it.
And you're not supposed to. You're not supposed to. I heard that 50 Cent just is opening up a brand new multi-million dollar movie studio there. So I'm glad that
He's
he's
here.
investing in Shreveport. Are you close to Shreveport?
I sure am.
Yeah.
Right next door to Bossier City.
Oh shoot. Well, let me tell that should bring a lot of money to the community. I know that, Louisiana or New Orleans uh goes through a lot when it's the flood time. Have you ever been caught
Yeah.
in one of those floods?
No, thank God.
I know.
I'm 8 hours north of New Orleans area.
Okay, my sister-in-law had to be air vac because she's a big girl
Oh,
during Hurricane Katrina, and they said there's people that's still living in some of those trailers down there. So thank
wow.
God. Yeah, it's tough. Um, so now, Sheila, this is one of your beautiful inspirations. I see that both y'all got the same color hair. Tell us a little bit about your dolls, the design, what they do, and what's their name.
Guess what? I did not name the dolls. I want the children to name their own dolls. And there's a place in the book for them to name their own doll. So they say positive affirmation. They talk. Now this one, I took the voice box out of it, but on the other ones, you can see I'll push the voice box on them, and they say you're beautiful, you're gonna do great things, and say other positive affirmations to encourage the child.
Wow. All right. Oh, now she's beautiful. She looks like she's cross cultural. Is it maybe African American and Asian?
Correct.
Wow.
Perfect. That's right. And
What was
she
your inspiration for that doll?
I want to do all different mixture of races. So I just started with 3 right now, but I'm going to do a mixture of all of them because right now I'm the only one that's doing them. So I want everyone to have
Well, I know
um
that Barbie was breakthrough, honey. Did you see the movie Barbie?
no, I didn't.
Well, you might want to look at it because it's not what you think. And it was so beautiful. It told the story of the Barbie doll from its inception. I remember when Barbie was even pregnant at one time. She had a baby there. That didn't go over too well. But then they started having black Barbies and Asian and Native American. And children want to love, nurture something that looks like them.
They do.
And
They
diversity
do.
and anti-bullying too. This teaches them to be more sensitive. The world is crazy. Racism is not born in you, it's taught. It's a learned behavior.
Right.
And
And
that's
as a matter, oh, I'm sorry.
no
As
good.
a matter of fact, I've animated these dolls and I have a YouTube site where I do cartoons and I teach against bullying and so forth. They're short, but I do little skits and I put music to them. And
Well,
animated.
you're gonna be the next best thing. That is absolutely good because I could have a tea party right now. I think I'm looking at my office and I think I have about 6 or 7 dolls still. I absolutely love them. They bring out the childlike innocence. They are your confidant. And a lot of times when children go through trauma, they express their trauma through artistics or through play with dolls because they can explain what has happened to them. So good on
Correct.
you that you have been able to do that as well. Beautiful. What's her name? Oh, you didn't name her either.
I didn't name any of the dolls. They can name now on the cartoons. I named them, just because they're cartoons, so I had to give the characters names, but I did not name the doll.
Okay.
So you can.
Oh, that's beautiful. You have had so many obstacles, but you've had so many blessings. You are an entrepreneur, you're a minister, you're an author, you're a doll maker, you're a nurse, you're a wife, you're an overcomer. What would you say to a young professional that's looking to go into the nursing career because it has changed so much and it's ever evolving with these robotics and different types of medication, all the technology? What would you tell a young person that's looking for nursing as their next career?
I will. I would tell them to make sure they know what area they want to go in. If it's bedside nursing, they need to know that it's not like it was when I first got out of nursing. You don't have that one-on-one time like I had when I first got out of nursing. It's more task oriented. You got to do this, this, and this. You can't spend that quality time with the patient like you could when I first got out of nursing school into nursing. It's just so fast paced. So you need to make sure that's what you want to do if it's bedside nursing, because it's not easy.
Okay. Well, again, there's so many opportunities in nursing. Like you said, your emergency room, there's bedside, there's specialty nursing, there's coaching for nurses now, there's teaching them resilience. There's a whole lot of different avenues that you can go in. So it's still a very worthwhile profession and one that's needed. I love nurses. You give a lot. You really do. Nurses and teachers are two of my favorite people on the planet. You don't get your flowers like you should. So tell us a little bit about how you found that husband.
My daughter, she was, I think, about 13, and I didn't have anyone around them. I didn't date because, having young kids, I was careful about who was around them, and especially being older. So my daughter said, "Mom, why don't you get on blackpeoplemeet.com?" So I prayed about it. So I did get on blackpeoplemeet.com, and um, my husband saw me, and I looked, and I'm like, he looks white. And I was like, I don't think I want another white man. But he's not. He's from New Orleans area. He looks white, but he's black. And he approached me, and he told me, he said, "Oh, I found what I was looking for." And he got off. He actually got off. And I was like, I don't know him like that. I'm not getting off. He actually got off. I stayed on a couple of months. We met April 1st, and we got married in July 28th.
Wow.
Yes.
I would be scared to death to
And
meet somebody online. So he was right there locally in your area. And so what was it
no,
like?
he was in Lake Charles.
Oh, okay.
Lake Charles.
Okay. All right. But he was still in Louisiana. So what was that like your
Yes.
first date when you met him?
he drove up here and I wouldn't let him meet my kids. I took my kids over to my mother house and I had my sister come over to my apartment because I'm like, I don't know this guy. So my sister came over to my apartment to be with me, and he brought me some flowers, and then he brought me a CD. It was the Christ, the Mel Gibson Christ CD.
Mm.
And then we went to a restaurant and went to see a movie.
Wow, and it's been love and happily ever after. Well, that's amazing.
Well, it was work, but
Well, of
but
course.
my son, I had to my son, he has Down syndrome, like I said. But when he first met him, he said, "Mom, when I the second time, I said, well, I felt at peace about them meeting him. Well, he wanted to take them out to dinner, and they picked Golden Corral. So when he met him, my husband went to go get his food, and my son said, "Mom," I said, "What, Sam?" He said, "Where's Dad?" I'm like, "You're not your father." He said, "Mom, where's Dad at?" And he was correct. And he
Oh,
loves him to death.
yeah. And that's wonderful that, your new husband was able to embrace everyone and step in, because a lot of times people say, "Oh, no, 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 this woman is married, she got kids, and now she got a kid with special needs." And they put all these labels, but once you really get to know a person and get to see all the great attributes that they bring to the world, you find that it is well worth it. And not to judge, all of us have something wrong with us. And so, that was absolutely wonderful. Well, I want to thank you so much, Shelia, for being here with me and my brains on the edge. I love the dolls. I love your story. I love your personality. And I love that accent. Please tell my brains how to get in contact with you, how they can work with you, how they can purchase one of the dolls.
They can go to my website, childrenoflovedolls.com, and purchase a doll. If they just want the book, they can go to Amazon or Barnes and Noble.
There's still bookstores, brains. Take advantage of it. If your child is looking to grow and develop, you want to teach them to be a well rounded human being, to love everybody, all of God's creatures. Every flower in the garden is not the same. Every car on the street is not the same. Everything that we decorate or what we wear is not the same. Uniqueness and individuality is what makes us special. And thank you so much for being special, Shelia. Come back and visit me, okay?
Thank you.
Bye,
All
brains.
right. Thank you so much.